Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai's Linux News. Let's kick things off with some fantastic news for the desktop Linux community. According to ITS FOSS, HP has just announced they're becoming a premier sponsor of the Linux Vendor Firmware Service, also known as LVFS or FWAPT. This is huge because it means HP is joining Lenovo and Dell in contributing over $100,000 annually to this critical open source project. For those unfamiliar, LVFS makes it super easy for Linux users to get hardware firmware updates directly through their package managers. Having major computer manufacturers backing this initiative shows real commitment to making Linux a better experience for everyday users. The fact that 3 of the biggest names in the industry are now signing on, that's a massive win for the community. Moving right along, Ubuntu is reporting that ONLYOFFICE 9.4 has just rolled out with some pretty interesting developments. The new release brings a handful of improvements to this open-source productivity suite, but here's the thing. It also comes with updated licensing terms. ONLYOFFICE is making the language around attribution, copyright notices, and modified versions much stricter. And yeah, there's definitely some context here. Just recently, ONLYOFFICE had to suspend its 8-year partnership with Nextcloud over something called EuroOffice, which is basically a fork created by a European consortium. ONLYOFFICE claims that fork violates their AGPLv3 license. So the stricter licensing in 9.4? That's clearly a response to keep forks in check. It's a reminder of how important licensing gets when open source projects gain real momentum. Now here's something that's going to get professionals excited. Phoronix just published comprehensive benchmarks of NVIDIA's new RTX Pro Blackwell workstation graphics cards running on Linux. These newest professional-grade GPUs from NVIDIA are showing absolutely excellent performance across the board. The testing compared them head-to-head against AMD's Radeon AI Pro and Intel's Arc Pro B-Series offerings, and the results are seriously impressive. For anyone working in professional visualization, AI, or workstation computing on Linux, this is a big deal. The fact that NVIDIA is delivering such strong performance on open-source systems shows they're taking Linux seriously for professional workflows. If you're thinking about upgrading your workstation, these benchmarks are definitely worth checking out. Okay, this one's genuinely exciting from a security perspective. ITS FOSS is reporting that Linux's stable maintainer is betting big on a new Rust type to address an entire class of bugs that C has literally never been able to fully prevent. We're talking about potentially eliminating 80% of Linux kernel CVEs. That's a staggering number. For decades, memory safety vulnerabilities have plagued C-based systems. Rust's approach to memory safety at the language level could be transformative for kernel security. The Linux kernel is already gradually adding more Rust code, and this development shows that investment is paying real dividends. As more kernel subsystems get rewritten in Rust, we could be looking at a fundamentally more secure Linux moving forward. This is the kind of long-term thinking that keeps Linux at the cutting edge of systems engineering. Sticking with impressive tech news, Ubuntu is sharing details about Canonical's new Ubuntu Core 26, a long-term support release of their immutable, snap-based operating system. And the performance improvements are actually wild. Download sizes for over-the-air updates have been slashed by up to 90% for most snaps thanks to a new Snap Delta format. Seriously, core-based snaps now download in just 1.5 megabytes instead of 16 megabytes. Beyond bandwidth savings, installation times are faster too because the Anytramps-based installer skips redundant reboots during provisioning. And here's another win. Core 26 enables live kernel patching on ARM64 architecture for the first time. That means security updates without rebooting on ARM systems. For anyone running Ubuntu Core on IoT devices, edge computing, or immutable server deployments, this release is a game-changer for operational efficiency. For the developers and performance enthusiasts watching at home, Phoronix is reporting something really exciting for the upcoming Linux 7.2 kernel. Cache-aware scheduling looks like it's finally going to land. This has been a long time coming. The cache-aware scheduling support, controlled by config_eth_cache, has made it into a tip branch with all the necessary code included. What does this actually mean? Well, modern CPUs have multiple last-level caches, and this scheduler enhancement helps the kernel be smarter about which cores run which tasks to maximize cache efficiency. translation, better performance on contemporary processors without changing a single line of application code. This is the kind of under-the-hood optimization that doesn't make flashy headlines, but it genuinely improves real-world performance for every Linux user. The Linux 7.2 merge window opens in about a month, so we should see this land soon. If you spend a lot of time in the browser, OMG Ubuntu is reporting that Vivaldi 8.0 just dropped with their biggest design overhaul ever. The new unified design approach removes boundaries between the main UI elements, tabs, toolbars, panels, creating one continuous visual experience. It's a bold move that really transforms how the browser looks and feels. Like some other modern browsers, Vivaldi now frames web content with rounded corners instead of letting it bleed edge to edge. But here's the thing. This isn't just a visual refresh. The team rethought the entire interface architecture. For users who love customization, Vivaldi's always been a playground, and 8.0 takes that to another level. The Chromium-based engine still gives you solid performance and compatibility, but now wrapped in a genuinely fresh design language. If you've been curious about Vivaldi as an alternative to Chrome or Firefox, 8.0 is a great time to take a look.